Hello, good day, and welcome. I'm Timotab, and today I'm going to solve Happy Birthday Timotab by RockyRoer. It was recently my birthday, and I've had quite a few puzzles created especially for my birthday for me to solve. This is one of them, and I've been doing a little series on solving them, and we will now be continuing that series until I have run out of such puzzles to do. Um, okay, well, thank you very much, RockyRoer, for sending this to me. If you would like to try this puzzle for yourself, then you can click on the first link in the description. And with that, let's have a look at the rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply, and as this is a 6 by 6, that means we are going to have the digits 1 to 6 in every row, every column, and every 3 by 2 box. Normal Yin-Yang shading rules apply. Shade some cells in the grid such that all shaded cells form one contiguous region and all unshaded cells form one contiguous region. No 2 by 2 region can be entirely shaded or unshaded. So I am going to be coloring some cells in two different colors, and I'll probably have gray and green. That would be, no, let's try again. There we go, gray and green. Um, Now, what that means to be a contiguous region is, and this might not work, what it means to be a contiguous region is that all of the gray cells are going to be connected together, all of the green cells are going to be connected together, um, and I'm also not allowed to put a 2 by 2 region in there. So actually, a good actual example might be something like this. Um, yes, that's going to work. So give those one color, give this another color, and we can see that all of the gray cells are connected um, along edges, and all of the green cells are connected in the same way, and there's no 2 by 2 in the grid that is all of one color. Okay, let us clear that. Right, Yin-Yang Cave Diamonds. A diamond in a shaded cell indicates how many shaded cells it can see, including itself, where unshaded cells block the view. A diamond in an unshaded cell indicates how many unshaded cells it can see, including itself, where shaded cells block the view. So, what does that mean? Supposing this were a 2 and it were grey, then this could be a grey cell, but then this would have to be green, and then this would also have to be green. And then that sees 2 cells. I can have more grey over here, but this green is blocking the view from the perspective of the diamond. Okay, so that's that. Sandwich clues. Clues outside the grid, some of which must be deduced, indicate the sum of the cells sandwiched between the 1 and 6 in that row or column. So if we had a 3 up here, for example, then a possible way to fulfill that would be 1, 3, and 6. 1 and 6 are the outside parts of the sandwich, and then the 3 is what's in the middle. If it were a 5, for example, I could either do a 5 like that, or I could have additional digits so that this were something like that. So that would be a way to fulfill a 5 clue. And just as a helpful hint, the RockyRoer has reminded us that the first few prime numbers are 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, and 13. There is a dot, dot, dot there, but I think I've spotted something as to why that won't be necessary to look further. But anyway, that's all the rules. So I'm now going to restart the puzzle to reset the timer. and let's begin. Okay, so the first thing is, do I want to start with, well, actually, yes, let's start with, supposing this were a 1 and this were a 6. That's the largest possible uh, sandwich clue I could have, or the sandwich I could have. These digits would be 2, 3, 4, and 5. And if I add those all up together, that makes 14. So the largest possible sandwich clue in a 6x6 is 14. So that's why we have only been given the list of primes up to 13. Okay, that's got that out of the way. And now let's talk about some secrets of yin-yang. So if the first secret is that I can't have a checkerboard. And the reason for that is that it means I can't connect both colors properly. If I have this and then I try and connect the greens, I've now isolated this gray and it can't orthogonally connect to the other gray. Doesn't matter which way round I do that, that applies in either case. There's an extension of that which says that I can only have 2 changes of color. So I can do that, and if this one is gray and this one is gray, then all of these must be gray, like that. Why is that? Well, supposing I put some green over here. Now, I can connect this green to that green, but now I've isolated this gray from this gray, and can't connect them up, and so that does not fit with the rules. Okay, that's some useful things to think about. All right, let's think about actually solving now. Right, we've got some prime clues for sandwich, but we've got an actual 10 here. Now, the largest I can possibly make the inside of a sandwich is 14. So I am going to be removing 1 or more digits from 14, from 2, 3, 4, 5, to make 10. Now, obviously that means I'm going to be removing 4. And normally you'd say, well, there are 2 ways to make 4 in sudoku, and that would be a 4 or a 1 and a 3. But the 1 is being used as the crust of the sandwich, so I can't use that. So that means I'm going to have a 4 as the outie. So that means I'm going to have a 4 here or here, and I know I'm marking across boxes, but I think that'll be useful in a moment. So if the 4 is here, then that becomes a, yeah, if the 4 is here, actually I'll mark them center because, yeah, if the 4 is here, then this must be a 1-6 pair. And if the 4 is here, like that, then this must be a 1-6 pair. Now, I don't know which of these two is going to be uh, right. I can see it in my head. I'm having difficulty explaining it. Right, if the 4 is here, then I've got a 1 or a 6 here and a 1 or a 6 here. If the 4 is here, I've got a 1 or a 6 here and a 1 or a 6 here. So these two can only be from 1, 4, and 6. Now, the next thing to note is the diamonds can never be a 1, because if the diamonds are a 1, they only have the 1 cell and they cannot connect to the rest of their color. That is not a 1. Okay, if this is a 6, could make a full row or column, or a partial. If it's a 4, it's definitely going to make a partial row or column. Um, okay. If if this is a 6, it cannot go that entire row because this has a diamond, and this would have to be a 6 because it would see all of these as the same shading. So if it's a 6, it has to go down there. Doesn't necessarily make this a different color from that, because it could be that that is green, that's gray, and all of this is green. Maybe. Okay, well, actually, that doesn't work because that can't, that would then say 7. So could I make that gray and this green? I do that, and that would go all the way around. No, that doesn't work because then this would have to be more than 6, which it cannot be. So actually, those are different colors. All right, so we'll make that gray. That means we have a change of color here somewhere in this row. Okay. Um, so if this was 6, um, it could go there, and we'd have a change of color somewhere here. If this was 6, it could go all the way down to here. What about this? What if this is 6? Okay, if this is 6, it cannot go all the way down to the bottom because of this diamond. That means it, whatever it does not go all the way down to the bottom. Therefore, there is another change of color somewhere in this column. This must be green. And that means all of that is green. And now this is a 6. And this is grey. And these must be grey. Oh. And now this must be at least 5, but it can't be 6. Which then forces this to be green, because otherwise it would see more than 5 grey cells. And that makes these green. This now sees 5 green cells, but it can't be a 5 by sudoku, so this has to be green. And now it sees 6, so that is a 6, and this has to be grey in order to obstruct view. All right, no 2 by 2s. Avoid a checkerboard. Avoid a 2 by 2. Avoid a 2 by 2. Avoid a checkerboard. What else? All right, this is not a 6. Can't be a 1. That's got to be the 4. That's the outie, and that's the 1. Okay. That is 2, 3, and 5. So this digit is at least a 2. It can't be 3 because if that were grey, it would also then see that one. So that's 2 or 4. All right, let's think about this prime. So we have 14 potential digits inside. But if 14 potential sum inside in the maximum, take away 5 gives us 9, which is not prime. So we do not have 3 digits with a 1 here. So that's not a 1. That's 2, 3, or 4. That can't be a 1. That's 2, 3, or 4. Because if that were a 1, I'd have a sandwich of 0. Okay. That cannot be a 1 because what we've talked about with diamonds before. So I've got a 1 in one of those two, and then a 1 in one of those two. Now, if this is a 1, then that would be 2 or 3. Would work. Right, this digit, or this cell, rather, it cannot be grey, because if it's grey, then either it's just that cell, in which case it would have to be a 5, but I've already got a 5 in the box. But if I extend it either way, I get a 2 by 2. So that is not grey, that is green. And it can't be 6 because if it were all 6, then I would have cut off this grey from the rest. So that is less than 6. And now where does 6 go in this box? It goes there. And that places a 6 into one of those two. Okay. That can't be a 1, so one of those two is a 1. We've got a 6 here and a prime. So either we have 1 with 2 or 3 there, or we have a 1 with 2 or 3 there. I don't see any obvious way to resolve that just yet. Okay, this prime. Hang on a minute before I get to that. This prime, I think. So obviously I can't have a 6 here. If I have a 6 here, then that's 1 and my sandwich is 0. If I have a 6 here, then that's 1 and my sandwich is 0. So I have to have a 6 in one of those two. But this prime says it can't be this one because then my sandwich is 0. That places the 6. That places the 6 there. Okay, so this is 2 digits which add up to a prime number. So obviously the prime is not 2, not 3. It could be 5, which would be 2 and 3. It could be 7, which could be 2, 5, or 3, 4. Well, it can't be 3, 4. I've already got a 4 in the box. So 2, 5, if it's the 7 is the prime, and 11 I would need 3 digits for, because 5 and 6, I can't ever use a 6 in a sandwich. And then 11 would be 2, 4, 5. But that's 3 digits. All right. Um, so that is either 2, 3, or 2, 5, but it definitely has a 2 in it. This now becomes a 4, which makes that grey. And then this is going to be the digit which is missing from there, which is going to be 3 or 5, but it's not 5 by sudoku. That's a 3. Okay, I've done this clue. So that could still be a 1, but that could be a 1 with a 2 there. Hmm. Okay, this could be 6, 5, 1. It could be 6, 2, 1. It could be 6, 2, 3, 1. I don't think I know that yet. But I can place a 6. I must be able to place a 6 because I think I've got 5 sixes. Yes. So that is a 6. This is a 3 by Sudoku. That's 1, 2, and 5. But that's not a 5. Ah, so this can't be 1, 2, because then that would have no fill. And it can't be 1, 4. Yeah, one of these has to be 4. It can't be 1, 4 because 4 is not a prime, and it can't be 4, 1 because then that would be a 0, and 0 is not prime. So that means this has to be where the 1 goes, and this is a 2, 4 pair. We've eliminated that as a candidate for 1, so that's a 1. And now these two digits have to add up to a prime. Let's have a quick look at this. This is 2, 3, or 4. So that's from 2, 3, and 4. Okay, it can't be 2, 4 because that makes 6. So 2, 3, or 4, 3 makes 5 or 7, both of which are indeed prime, but there is definitely a 3 there. So that's not a 3. That makes this a 3. Okay. Well, if this is 3, if this is, yeah, this is 3. If this is grey, the only way that can become 3 is to go this way. But as soon as I hit my third cell, I include the fourth. So that cannot be grey. That must be green. And now it has reached 3, so this is grey. Then we avoid a checkerboard and avoid a 2 by 2. This has to get out in order to be able to connect to its friends. And we avoid a 2 by 2 and avoid a 2 by 2. Okay, that has completed the colouring. So now this must be a 2 because that's what the rules say for what a diamond sees. That makes that a 3, 4 pair, and that makes that a 5. This must now be a 1. That 3, 4 makes that 2. That's 4. That's 2. That's not 2 or 5, so that's 3, and that's 2. That's not 1 or 2 by Sudoku, so that's 5. That's the 2. This is a super fun puzzle. 2 makes this 5 and 2. This is that's a 4 and a 3 by Sudoku, and the last remaining digit in this column is a 5. That's a 1, 4 pair. I guess I'll come back to that. This is a 1, 1 and a 3. So that's the 1, that's the 3, that's the 1, that's the 4, that's the 4, and that's a 5. Um, yeah, that was a super fun puzzle. Thank you very much, RockyRoer, for creating it for me for my birthday. Um, I really enjoyed that. Uh, I know you solved some of my yin-yang puzzles before, so you know I'm a big fan of yin-yang. I really appreciate the thought that was put into this to make it one that I would enjoy. Um, if you like this solve, then please hit the like button, subscribe to see some more, and I would love to hear your comments. I'm looking forward to next time. Be seeing you.